Valentine's can be hard when you're missing your one true love, and I know I've been pining for mine, Halloween. Thankfully, there's a new year-round haunt down the street from Disneyland that's offering a Valentine's overlay. Tonight we're going to be reviewing Sweet Love, a Halloween attraction by Eulogy Collective, and we're not just going to be counting the jump scares. No, we're going to be reviewing it as if it's a full theater production. We love a well-earned scream, but as theater artists who live for spooky storytelling, we're just as interested in structure, design, and performance. Because haunted houses aren't just attractions, they're immersive plays, and they are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Tonight, we're breaking this down the way we would any theatrical production. We're going to be taking a look at script and story architecture, scenic design and environmental storytelling, costume and character work, lighting and sound composition, and of course, performance. We're a Stage Fright Theater company, and we explore the dark, dramatic, and sometimes hilarious world of spooky theater. So find your usher, take your seat, the show is about to begin. Hey guys, I'm Candy. I'm co-creator of Stage Fright Theater Company, and tonight I'm joined by our sound and music expert and writer, Ryan, as well as our writer, director, and my brother, Aaron.
Hi.
Guys, we're about to step into Sweet Love. What are you hoping for in this production?
Well, it's my first Valentine's haunt, so I don't know, I'm just kind of excited to see what they do, like how you make Valentine's scary. I kind of read some of the backstory, and I think it's going to be fun.
I'm just curious to see what the, sound guy and all, how they're going to utilize sound.
I'm hoping to see a new storyline. I'm very excited to, again, I read their backstory as well, and I'm just excited to see how they bring this to life. But before we go in, here's past me to give you the haunted playbill. Thanks, Future Candy. Sometimes it's thrilling to walk into a haunt blind, but more often, context deepens the experience. There's a reason Ben Mankiewicz introduces every film on Turner Classic Movies. Context frames art. So let's talk about the artists. Eulogy Collective formed when Santa Ana Haunt partnered with OC Nightmare to create a vampire-themed maze at the Anaheim Garden Walk. We've seen Santa Ana Haunt at Midsummer Scream for many years, and have always loved their work. In October 2025, Eulogy premiered Deadly Sins, built around the 7 deadly sins. Then came A Christmas Horror Story. Sweet Love centers on the town of Sweet, devastated on Valentine's Day, 1960, by a string of murders committed by a figure later dubbed the Sweet County Ripper, known locally as the Heartbreaker. The experience takes place 10 years later. Guests step into the role of college journalists returning to uncover the truth behind the massacre. So the question is, does this attraction function as an immersive theater or just atmospheric horror? Let's find out. Thanks, Past Candy. All right, places everyone. It's showtime.
You're out! Yeah. Or you hit the third base too. Hey! Welcome to the party, you guys. Whoa, what's all the blinking lights for, man?
Oh, well,
It's part of the party.
yeah.
Who's wearing a wire?
That one from. Are you? Well, are you wearing a wire?
I got nothing. I'm just kidding. Come on, you guys. Sign to the party. So I welcome. Man, it's a little light right now, but we're good.
Alcohol. Yeah.
Oh,
He's totally not underage. We're gonna come over this way. Welcome, welcome.
Hey.
Fill up all the dead space. I'm just kidding. Welcome to Hell House, you guys. It is my humble abode, and the only reason we call it that is because a bunch of people died here a couple years ago. This dude went on a killing spree. It's a small town. You get bored. What are you gonna do?
it makes sense to me.
Exactly, right? What are you gonna spend your time doing? Walking around in a small town? No. You gotta, stab a couple people here and there.
Sure.
Speaking of stabbing, there was a dude run through on the deer. He was all hung up like this. I can't get my leg up. But it It was crazy. It was thirsty work. Am I right? But I'm gonna take you guys for a quick walk, if you know what I mean.
All right.
The cousin walk, yeah. I guess we're not all family. Hold that. I can't hear very well with these on. Give me a moment.
This is an emergency alert from Sweet County authorities.
Oh, my bad. It's the
Approximately
radio.
9:40 p.m. this evening, law enforcement has confirmed another violent attack believed to be connected to the suspect known as the Sweet County Slasher.
I was just talking about.
Residents,
Yeah.
please be advised that the suspect is considered armed and extremely dangerous.
Hey, it's okay. Us
A
too.
county-wide curfew
Right.
is now in effect.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
All individuals
we're gonna be okay.
are to return to
We'll be
their
okay.
homes immediately and remain indoors
Okay.
until further notice.
Well, we're
good.
indoors.
We're
No
inside.
unnecessary
We're
travel
inside.
is permitted. Ensure all doors and windows are locked and secure.
I got the windows. Did you get the doors?
If you see any
I
suspicious
mean, we can get the
activity,
door right there.
contact
or-
that
Sweet
was
Sheriff's
fine.
Office
Yeah.
immediately.
It's a
Do not
back door.
attempt
No one
to
comes in
approach
through
the
the back
suspect,
door.
and only open your door
Right?
for Sweet
I mean-
County law
Wow.
enforcement.
It only-
What did it float you about?
Further updates
Every
will be
horror
provided
movie.
as information becomes available.
Whoa.
Oh man. Oh no! Ah!
What are you doing here?
Oh no!
He's gonna find you.
Oh no!
No, please. Don't leave me here by myself. No.
Come with us.
I'm too young. Please.
Oh no!
No, please. I'm begging you. Don't leave me. No. Please don't leave me.
Ah! Oh!
Not fair. This is not fair.
Oh no!
Whoa! Sorry, I thought you were the killer. I gotta protect my patients, but step away from that door, please.
Yes.
Are any of you injured?
No.
Okay. Let's keep it that way. All right. All right. So many people are walking in here with slash wounds and gash wounds and everything like that. I'm just a veterinarian. I'm supposed to be treating like horses and cats and dogs and everything. Like, I'm not used to treating humans. I mean, like, parts as parts and everything. But I'm doing the best I can. But can you do me a favor? If you see the sheriff, please tell him I need all the help I can get at the animal hospital.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
people keep coming in and it's just me here. Okay? Please.
Okay.
For Dr. Hamberry. Okay. And but let's get you away from there.
Okay.
He's out there, please. Should be safer that way. But
Okay.
one more favor. I would really love to go back to treating dogs and cats. Please don't make me have to treat you.
Okay.
I mean, I will, but I would rather not have to. I think there's so many.
I know it's a
people
small town, but don't you have a hospital here?
there. And that's a small town. It's 30 miles away.
Okay, fair.
It's a little far. Okay. I'm doing the best I can. There's a couple of rats out there. Are you okay with that?
That's
okay.
fine.
Get to safety, please. Please go.
All right. Oh no!
I'm unstuck. I'm unstuck. Doctor. Doctor.
No. No.
Oh no!
Help me. Help. I need your help.
Oh no! Okay.
Okay.
Hey, what are you guys doing out after curfew? But you know, there's a killer out there?
Yes, absolutely. Thank God. Law enforcement. All right.
Yeah, come on. What are you guys doing? You're taking your sweet thing. You want the killer to catch you, huh?
I mean, not particularly.
But,
Not particularly? So keep going.
All right, the veterinarian needs you. Oh,
the catacombs. The blurry catacombs. We gotta go.
Let's go.
All right.
Hey, can I know the way out of here, okay?
All right.
Okay. Come on, hurry.
Okay. We got it.
Anywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's good.
I think the coast is clear. I think we should be fine. We should be
No, we left her. Ah.
All right, guys. Initial curtain call reactions. What did you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked how story driven it was. They were almost like actual scenes you kind of had to stop and witness, and that's really unique. I liked that a lot.
I really liked the effects and the cues that they had. They were all impeccable, and they were very well timed.
I same thing. Loved the different scenes. I loved, the idea that this killer was sort of chasing you through the whole thing, and they did a really good job of building that anticipation. All right, but a proper review needs more than just a lobby discussion. Let's grab a nightcap and break this down like actual critics. All right, so I guess, what did we think?
Yeah, like I said, I think one of the things that I really liked about it was that there were almost scenes within, and it was almost like checkpoints, which I don't know, but I'm assuming they kind of used as like a way to keep traffic flow correct. I know our first run that was off camera, we were stopped by the sheriff for quite a while, or no, not the sheriff, the vet for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it felt like he was keeping us there to try and make sure the party before us was moved through. And I kind of feel like that was an ingenious way of pulsing.
Yeah, I agree. I think also, it was clearly just the different beats, the different story beats were very clear. But they still somehow managed to keep tension as you're walking through. I kept looking over my shoulder thinking that the killer was going to pop up behind me, and he was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was...
I know. When I was at the back for a portion of it, I kept on being like, I know he's back there. I know he's behind me.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the pulsing, too. Because
Yeah.
he knew he didn't necessarily have to attend to the group behind you.
Yeah.
You knew that he could pop out at you at any moment.
Yeah. They took their time, and I think we also did go on a slow night, so maybe that was part of it, but I don't think so. I think that's just the way that they're presenting the story is they're conscious of that, and they want to create that story for every party, and they take their time. They're not rushing through it, which I think is really cool. You don't see that very often because usually, especially during Halloween, the haunts are so busy that you just...
Yeah, you're just hurting through.
Yeah, you don't get that. You don't get that with it. So.
Yeah, I like that there's a definite through line for the plot in this one. That there was a beginning, middle point, and an end, and they were all cohesively put together. I felt it was just very good storytelling.
Yeah, it was a very structured story.
Yeah.
Which you don't get a lot in haunts.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated. Of course,
even when there is one where you have character interactions, a lot of them still don't have as much of a cohesive plot. So.
Yeah. And you could tell because again we did a run through before filming, and then we did a run through where we filmed, and that was mostly A, because they were nice enough to let us do that, and B, we wanted to go through without filming first, just to kind of get a lay of the land and make sure we weren't going to trip over anything while we were filming, that kind of thing. But both run-throughs, the dialogue and the people the way that they were acting was the same. It was the same experience both times, which I also thought was great.
Yes.
Because it made sure that the storytelling was consistent for every audience member. Which again, there are some haunts where they just let their actors go.
Yeah.
And people's experiences can vary wildly.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You hear that a lot, like on these videos where someone will be like, well, I think we had a bad run. And this I think is set up in a way to where that won't really happen.
Yeah, it's meant to mitigate those bad runs. Yeah.
Right. This was kind of an appropriate one for us to start with because it was very theatrical. Right? There was story, there was like set scenes, and that was really cool. I really liked that. Yeah.
Well-defined characters. You knew who everyone was. You know, and their sort of, you know, introductions. You know, it made sense, and I think, you know, to your point, I think what they did a really good job of is having sort of that happy medium between, you know, when you just let scare actors do whatever they want and improvise, so often it just is incoherent and it just takes you out of the story.
Right.
So I think what, you know, and then you have like the polar opposite with like HHN where everything's recorded.
Right.
And yes, sometimes that's needed, but I think
when that works, it works perfectly.
Correct.
And when but there's sometimes where that gets repetitive and that pulls you out of the story.
Correct.
And that's the reason why we do haunts, is because they're an immersive theatrical experience.
Right.
And so anything that breaks that immersion is
right. And this, I think, is the good compromise, because there was still plenty of ad-libbing for the actors to do, but because they had their specific story beats and the specific script, it was rehearsed and it was they you know, and so again it felt lived in, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I felt like it gave them the freedom to like maybe change up the dialogue a bit, but like their motives were clear, right? Like the vet was, I have to keep you here, and then I have to like make sure that you get the sheriff back to me for help because I'm overwhelmed, and right. So like every character's like motive was clear. The party guy at the top of the prologue, he
has to give the backstory, and that's a tall order.
And honestly, the backstory was elegantly done. It was it was in a matter of minutes we understood the story.
Yeah.
Which is tough to do.
Yeah. I also have to give kudos, and this is something, you know, we've talked a bit on our socials a little. I have to give kudos to the way they utilize the victims, you know, because so often you have victims that, and you had it a couple times where they were asking for help, but it wasn't like slowing anything down. It was still keeping the momentum going, especially the one girl that was asking for help, and immediately the killer slices her throat. And it's like, you know, that was a very impactful scene, and that's kind of what you need, I personally think more with the victims in haunts, is you need to have them kind of help tell that story more. And they had some really good like kill scenes, you know, and then you have the final girl at the end, which we never see final girls in haunts. Like I was like, yes, you know,
and that too, right? I mean, they told a story, and it was within. Like their story was in the slasher genre, and they held to the like cinematic writing conventions of the genre.
Yes, they did.
And it's like you don't see that kind of thing. So it's this was cool and fresh.
That was really cool.
And it goes without saying, set design is amazing.
Yeah.
Set design was tremendous. Yeah. The set design was all like added to the immersion, and it was all. You know what I mean? You didn't see too many blank walls, or when you did, they were purposeful.
They were purposeful, yeah.
You know?
And not a lot of jarring transitions in between scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe the one that came close was the circus.
The circus
yeah.
felt a
We
little
had
weird and
moment
out of
like-
place.
Had a moment of why are we in a circus?
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah. That's probably the
that's
only.
probably the only standout in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sound, and I know you probably have a lot of thoughts. I was pleasantly surprised, and I know being indoors and everything, they probably have a lot of they can, if you're outdoors, it's so hard to control sound. But I think what felt is it wasn't overpowering the actors.
Yes.
Because that tends to happen in haunts.
Yeah. The audio, the ambient audio tends to be deafening. It doesn't matter whether it's just the music or even if it's just creaking floorboards. It's all drowning out the audiences predominantly. And this one, the balance was very good. It was still loud, but it wasn't so much to where it was a distraction or preventing me from hearing the actors and what they were saying.
Yeah, and it might be part of the intimate nature of pulsing your group, so you get to have the actors closer to you. It feels, maybe that helps. But I know so often it's so hard to hear, actors.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it is the pulsing thing because I think a lot of haunts will use the sound to mask the screams ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in this one, they didn't really have to do that because it was pulsed out and the story was well paced, and you never once felt like, you always felt like you were in it, right? And that was incredibly well done. The lighting, the same, right? It created an atmosphere without being obtrusive. There were, a lot of times, it was very theatrical lighting, right? It wasn't like some haunts will blast you in the eyes with light, to get that jump scare. And there's nothing wrong with that tactic per se, but this one, they didn't really do anything gimmicky like that. It was all to support what was going on in the scene.
Yeah, nothing was needlessly disorienting, and
right.
That is a feature that has kind of crept into a few haunts in the modern era. Is that they will disorient you so that this way they can get the easier scares or to whittle you down so that this way the scare actors can have an easier time at you. But
I think like anything, you're gonna have the haunts. So often it's the end goal obviously is to scare people, but I think we're starting to see, and that's why we're here. We're starting to see more elevated storytelling, and I think when you can use lighting, kind of like sets and sound, to set the atmosphere, because obviously at the end of the day, the stars of the show are the scare actors, and I think the lighting, if it detracts, is hard, but also if it doesn't make sense. And I think this one did a fairly good job of the lighting making sense.
Yeah, the lighting was motivated.
For the most part,
For the most part, it was supporting the scene rather than than distracting from
it. So, and I think, like in the in the cemetery with the sheriff, he had a flashlight, and otherwise it was pretty dim, and and so I think what they're doing a good job of, and I makes me really excited to see more from them, is they're taking all of these into consideration for telling the story, which is nice to see.
Refreshing.
Especially when you learn that it's, a group of volunteers and it's like a passion project. It's not, they don't have big HHN money. And so the fact that they're able to do what they do is really remarkable, actually.
Well, and to the point, with you saying the actors carry it, and they're all like volunteers and they're all doing it, you know what I mean? And it's a passion thing. You can tell because, again, through our 2 runs, the energy was up. It was, and to do that, especially when you're doing like a victim role and you're having to scream at people all night, that's tough.
It's tough.
That's a tall order for actors, and to keep the energy up and make it feel authentic every single run is really difficult, and they did it. They were great. There wasn't one person in there that I didn't believe. Which happens sometimes, especially with victims. You'll sometimes get one that's laying there and But this
well,
time it was.
yeah.
I was like, oh no, and they put you in the story, so it was
They did, yeah, no, they absolutely did, and our walkthroughs were not back to back. We took they were almost an hour apart, and they were still.
Yeah, and there was no difference performance-wise.
Yeah.
And there was no difference performance-wise. We're here tonight, and there is a cheerleader convention across the way at the Anaheim Convention Center.
So there's a lot of cheering and a lot of.
There's a lot of excitement in the air.
Yeah. So. No, I was impressed. The other thing I will give them a lot of kudos for is the fact that it's a holiday overlay, and it's a new story.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not.
And it wasn't like a half-assed
story.
It
like
was
legit story.
They put thought and work into telling a unique story for the Valentine's overlay.
Mm-hmm. And it's different from their Christmas one. It's different from and I just hats off, like, all the kudos I can give them for that, because so many haunts, and I get it, because it's a tough turnaround, especially Christmas, but the idea of just throwing Christmas lights and Christmas hats on your props and calling and bringing in Krampus and calling it a Christmas haunt, it's to me that's why
I think that's one of those that, like, that kind of thing worked when a Christmas haunt was a novelty.
Correct. Yeah.
But now that it's its own thing, putting thought into the story, putting thought into the layout, putting thought into the sets,
and the fact that Eulogy Collective is doing that, it's fantastic. And I think, at least in Southern California, means we're going to likely see more people having to put in that effort.
Yeah.
Because
well, that's the thing. When you get a haunt that can tell a story, that can do these kinds of sophisticated storytelling things, it raises the bar for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, okay, we gotta meet them where they're at, and that's great. It's awesome. We need more haunts like this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Cool. I'm looking forward to Easter.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Bring on the hunt.
All right. Cool.
Is there anything else we want to say before we close the curtains on this one?
I think I've said all I needed to say about this.
I think I've said more than I need to say.
Yeah, fair.
I'm a little verbose, but I was excited. This was a good one. So. We had a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
Our thanks to the cast, crew, designers, technicians, creators, and everyone else behind the production, and a special thank you to Eulogy Collective for having us out. If you liked this review, give it a thumbs up. It lets the algorithm know that haunts belong in a serious theater conversation. We're Stage Fright Theater Company, where we believe that haunts are theater and that scare acting is acting. And if that resonates with you, consider subscribing. We review haunt as art, we produce original stage work, we review traditional spooky theater, and overall explore the craft behind the screens. Now go check out our review of Night of the Living Dead from the Maverick Theater, and take care of yourselves. Remember, the haunt must go on.